So, hey everyone, it's Ziad. Today we're going to get you started with Gamebuild and running on your first playtest within minutes. So we're going to start at the Gamebuild dashboard, where you can just sign up for Gamebuild on our homepage, gamebuild.io, if you haven't already, and you'll just end up right here. And so we'll start off by clicking the Create Gamebuild button, and we're going to fill in our form about our project, so depending on what phase we're in, and then we will put in our project's name. So I'm going to name mine Buildy Towers. It's going to be a strategy game, and then I'll press build. Now we've got our build here. I just want to note that you can always jump to the setup your project on our gamebuild.gitbook.io, and this is where you'll see all our documentation. So once we're ready, we're going to go to the downloads button, and we're going to download the latest build of Gamebuild. Today I'm going to be using 0.1D. And as we update, make sure you're checking if there are any big changes. The flow should stay more or less the same though. So we'll download our package by clicking the button right here. And then from here, we can actually just launch it. And that will bring us into our Unity project. Now that our package is installed, we can jump to the settings panel, which you can find in the menu bar right here. Open it up, and then you'll see all the relevant settings when dealing with Gamebuild. Let's go through the settings real quick. So, the only run on published builds does exactly that. When you're working on your game and don't need to test your Gamebuild implementation, make sure you turn this on so that the pop-ups don't come up. For this test, we're going to turn it off just because we're going to test it in the editor. Next, the feedback key. The feedback key is the key that players will use to bring up the feedback panel in-game. Gamebuild has built-in chimes that you can play when windows pop in and out. Feel free to enable or disable those. Feedback reminders remind players that they can use the feedback key should they forget, and it triggers every X seconds that you can set right here. The playtest message is the message that players will see at the start, and feel free to write anything you'd like. To get Gamebuild into your game, all you have to do is add the Gamebuild canvas to your scene. The Gamebuild canvas has a Do Not Destroy on Load component, which allows it to stay as you switch scenes. So, to make sure Gamebuild is active through your playtest, add the canvas to your first scene. Now the final step before we can run our first playtest is to grab our Gamebuild token from the Gamebuild dashboard. You can click the dashboard button here, or navigate to the dashboard in another way, click our Gamebuild, and click the Copy Token button. We'll head on back to our project and paste the Gamebuild token right in the Gamebuild settings window. Just like that, our playtest is ready to be run. Let's click the play button, and we'll kick off our playtest with our start message. Here you can ask playtesters to test something specific or just thank them for taking the time. Clicking the Let's Do It button launches our default browser and creates a playtest session. We'll click the Get Started button. Playtesters will then learn how to share their screen. They'll be able to go here, share their whole screen, also share audio. They'll also be able to preview everything that's being recorded right here. And so now they can hop on back to the game. So we'll jump back to Unity. Play around. And once we're happy with it, we can go back and either close the window or click the End Playtest button. We'll add a note for the developer. And just like that, our playtest is ready to be reviewed on the Gamebuild dashboard. Once back on our dashboard, we should be able to see that we've got one pending playtest. We'll click the Review button, and our playtest is here and ready to be reviewed. As you'll see on the sides, there are a bunch of other features that can be used with Gamebuild to make your sessions a lot more informative and helpful to sift through. Moments will help you break down your playtest into different parts so that you'll know, for example, when level 1, level 2, or a boss fight is. Prompts will be specific questions you can ask players that will pop up at opportune moments, so you can ask them right in that moment what are their thoughts. And finally, feedback is feedback that players can give through the feedback key. Thanks for listening, and thanks for taking the time. I'm really excited to see how people will use Gamebuild, and hopefully it will help you make better games.